Welcome to Single Tree Nation. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the host and owner of Single Tree Woodfire Barbecue. We are here to build community through undeniable hospitality, storytelling, and the perfect plate of barbecue. Welcome back to Single Tree Nation, guys. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, and as always, we have our illustrious co-host, Mr. Derry Wells.
What is up, everybody?
We are pretty excited about today. We got a great show.
It was the subtlety.
Was it?
It was just
yeah. Yeah. Go Bulls. Yeah. Right on into the show.
Look, I'm here.
We had a great discussion prior to you getting here, Rony, about some basketball players. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. But we got Trent's blood pressure up. It was good.
I don't know if you know, but I was a former professional basketball player.
Wow.
Overseas.
So you guys know. Today we have. I'm going to introduce.
Yes. Go
okay.
ahead.
Rony is the owner.
This the whole podcast, like the whole episode.
Yes,
right
it just right now. Rony is the owner of PennePazze.
PennePazze, beautiful.
Look, I did it right.
You did.
Yes.
I've been practicing that in my head for the last 20 minutes. So we are glad to have you on. I've been in your restaurant a few times here in Murfreesboro, but you just kind of derailed the whole show by saying that you were a professional basketball player. So let's go back. I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and you can tell us how you got into the restaurant business, and we'll start with basketball and move our way to wherever we go. Yeah.
All right. So first of all, thank you for having me.
Of course.
My name is Rony Stark. The owner and founder of PennePazze. We started PennePazze over 5 years ago. We opened the first location in Nashville in the L&N Market, March 17th, 2020. So literally like the week when COVID started.
Yeah.
Which was
what is up with y'all and COVID restaurants? Like, come on, like,
hey. I mean, if you're going to start one of the hardest businesses to run, why not do it in the middle of a pandemic?
Exactly, and that's, you know what, a lot of people telling us probably was a disaster or whatever, and I say, you know what, I think God loves me because this was probably the best thing could ever happen to us because it was our first ever business to own. And he gave us the opportunity to start very, very slow. And even though the first day we opened the doors, we had like $80 in sales, we didn't panic.
That's a win.
We had a sort of, it's slow because of the pandemic. It's not because of us. So it sort of gave us like sort of an excuse.
You had an excuse the whole time.
Yeah. Just like had an excuse. I wanted to believe that it's not us, and I wanted to believe Ricardo, my Italian chef. He goes like, "Are you panicking?" I was like, "No, I know we'll be good." So that's how we started. And
so just for our audience, before March 17th of 2020, what were you doing?
So, I used to play basketball since I was 7 years old, growing, dreaming to be a basketball player.
Okay.
And since then, I really dedicated all my life to being an athlete. If it's a sleeping schedule, eating schedule, working out and practicing the most out of everyone. So I was not the most talented guy, but I was the one who worked the hardest. And
it's funny you say that. We just had that conversation.
Literally, like 20 minutes before you got here, we were.
And my dream, by the way, is to coach my kids to become an NBA player. But I'm trying to giving this like idea of like, it doesn't matter how talented you are. It's about how much work you're willing to put and how you're going to treat yourself. So if you treat yourself as a professional, before you even made it, like they say, fake it until you make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you live by that, like you wake up in the morning every day believing that you become the best basketball player or the best businessman or you name it, and you're willing to put the effort out there, you will make it. So I played the pros 2009, 10, and 11 overseas after playing forever. And then I realized I'm not going
Did you play in college?
I played in Israel. I played overseas in the first league. And at that point, I really didn't get much to play. I was in the team, but I was the youngest on the rooster. And I worked a lot to make it happen. And then since it didn't like go the way I wanted to be, I thought maybe it's the time for me to just move on to the business world. I really wanted to become an entrepreneur, and my mother. So my both parents are doctors. My mother is Italian. My dad is Israeli. They met in a medical school in Italy, and my mother wanted me to become a doctor. So I started medical school for a month.
For a month.
For a month. And after a month, I was like, listen, mother, I love you. I can't do it. It's not for me. I want to study law and business. I want to become an entrepreneur, so I want to understand what's the law world means in order to be a better businessman. So I started law and business school. I graduated law and business school. In there, I met my wife, my incredible wife, which is also one of the partner on my own and owners of PennePazze, and we make a great team together. And that's basically what I did before PennePazze. I did a law degree, I did a business degree, and I was dreaming big. I was dreaming to come to the States and create an Italian concept which will be appealing for everyone, which will be affordable for everyone.
Where do you live at this point in time?
Israel.
Israel?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in Israel. You want to come to the States. Did you already know you wanted to start a restaurant, or you were just looking to start a business?
No, I knew I wanted to start a restaurant. So I was it's funny because I never really deeply thought about all the process until I was interviewed in a podcast, by the way, in Murfreesboro a couple of years ago, and I realized that since I was 12 years old, so my dad died when I was 12, and my mother was working very hard. She was a doctor, so I really had the house mainly for me all the time, and I was just finding way to just have people over. So I was, you want to come over? We'll like make pasta because that's always I knew how to make pasta since my grandmother in Italy taught me. Probably I was 5 years old the first time I made it, and in our house it was like every time you eat fresh food, like there is nothing in the freezer. I mean, just gelato, Italian ice cream. Beside that, we don't eat like frozen food. We make it, and then I was basically cooking for my friends and teammates all the time. I was like, you want to come over? And then it's become a thing. Like, hey, can I come to you today? We'll make pasta. I was like, okay. So slowly growing up, I was all the time cooking for my friends in just for the sake for not being alone. Like, because my brother was older, he was not there, and my mother was working. So I basically started cooking to have company, just to have people with me. And growing older, all the techniques get better. So my mother used to teach me how to make handmade pasta and handmade gnocchi and lasagna and everything. And I used to see what she's doing and then apply it to my friends, just invite friends over because my house was always empty. And I was just cooking for them. And then my technique got just get better and better and better. And then I arrived to university, law and business school. And that's when I really explore like the culinary world, but like in a deeper meaning, try to get better in what I'm doing, and then slowly just became better and better. And then I knew, you know what, I want to create a concept in USA for like an open Italian kitchen where they can see the process of how we make everything from scratch, because seeing Italian food being made is just beautiful, like all the flour and all the fresh pasta and all.
You were talking about your glasses before we started, and And now that you're bringing it up, like it's like all the hospitality and everything that goes into everything, the passion you have is just kind of giving me the warm and fuzzies inside. I get excited about stuff like this. But like one of the questions that I have, you started out in a total different way, and now it feels like hospitality's always been in your bones. How does technology? You were talking about the Ray-Bans that you got on prior to this. How is that technology helping you? And the reason I ask this, we're our primary technology partner is Toast, and I believe you use Toast as well in your restaurant, and we love what they do. And there's a lot of amazing things going on. I'm actually going up there this weekend, but how does technology like that help you increase your hospitality?
So I tell you the way our concept works. Initially, we wanted to make it very affordable and very, very accessible, and by that I mean we didn't want to build a very casual restaurant with like servers and old world. We wanted to use technology to boost the experience, to make it a little different, and then to be able to still keep like chef quality food, but very affordable, and that's how we created basically PennePazze. The way it works, you get into the restaurant, we welcome you in, we sit you down, and then you use your phone to scan the QR code, okay? And then you pull the menu and you order everything from your phone, and when food is ready, we run all the food out for you. And the idea is basically to create a very fun user experience, I would say, user experience method for the customers to just enjoy the ordering process and everything. That's being said, we still have a lot to achieve. I feel like with all the AI revolution, which I think this is just the beginning of it, I feel this is going to be like huge. My dream is to always incorporate technology into our concept, and I'm dreaming about creating like a AI Giovanni server, you know. So you speak to Giovanni and you tell him, hey, that's what I don't eat, that's what I do eat, that's what I prefer. Then Giovanni will basically suggest you a menu with this is the wine so this is the dishes you can choose, and this is the wine you can pair with, and basically making all the experience virtual but very fun and seamless, and not like, you know, just like traditional, heavy, and not boring, because I do like the personal touch, you know, when it's coming to service. But I also think like as the world is running, it's not even moving forward, it's like boosting forward. I think like incorporate technology in the experience is just a must. And whoever
Toast is working on some things that you would be very interested in.
I love that he's already named him Giovanni. Like,
yeah,
we know.
great.
Like,
Yeah.
Giovanni, by the way, is my uncle. He's my dad's brother. So,
okay.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So you get this idea. It's 2019, 2018, somewhere in that neighborhood.
When I had the idea, it was 2013. It was my second year of school, and it was like, dude, I gotta find something I'm gonna do with my life.
Did you go to school in Italy also?
In Israel.
In Israel.
And I didn't want to be a lawyer, so I was like, I gotta find a way. I need to find a way to. Sorry, I was started talking in my.
No, that's fine. That's. I completely want to get my wife a pair now. I don't wear glasses, but like I can see her doing this. She's going to geek out. So.
And then you can even go like, "Hey, Meta, what am I seeing?" You're seeing a person sitting in a chair in a recording studio.
I'm in.
On that note, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. What's going on, guys? I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the owner of Single Tree Barbecue, located right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 2805 Old Fort Parkway. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 until 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 11 to 3. If you want some smoked wings all the way to some Texas-style smoked brisket, y'all come see us. We have some amazing lunch specials during the week and outstanding barbecue right here in the Middle Tennessee area. We can't wait to see you guys. Hi, welcome back, guys. If you missed it, we are diving into technology.
I feel like y'all have passed me by on this.
Really got me excited
Right.
over
This
here.
is a heavy restaurant episode.
Yeah, it's
I'm just taking it in.
we took a left.
Like, I love the international flair that
Very much so.
that he brings. Because
Yeah.
like I've got questions that you said earlier about the fresh pasta, the fresh, like just the ingredients, the fresh dish. You don't have anything in the freezer. When you come stateside for the first time and somebody takes you to some whatever restaurant it was and you're like, what is this? Or were you excited about it? Or can you, I'm not going to ask, can you tell? You could tell fresh versus pre-prepared and all that stuff. Is there a desire now that because you grew up in that fashion, you always want to eat fresh, handmade, or is it just kind of taking it for the treat that it is?
So I'll be honest with you. You know, when one of my partners is from overseas, and when he came, it's funny. He goes like, you know, I saw this movie where they had White Castle. And I was like, dude, you don't want to eat White Castle. And then he goes like, why? But I'm telling you, like, it's in the movie. We got to do it. So I was like, all right, sure, let's do it. So we're like waiting online. We drive through. We get like these 25 burgers. It's like, you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I want to, like, I'm starving. We both taking a bite. So, like, there is 23 burgers left. We took a bite. And then it was like, all right, let's drive somewhere else. Okay, so we didn't finish it.
There's rules to White Castle. Not before midnight. Not sober. Like there's a list.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So somebody should have informed you of that part too. So I apologize.
Crystals is on that same agenda.
100%. 100%.
Yes.
So
But for your question, I think now growing up and understanding the value of like real food, unprocessed food, and what really that like everything count, whatever you put in your body. I feel like now there is a huge meaning for it, and I'm huge on it. When I'm trying to avoid processed food, I'm trying to provide also in our, not just in our restaurant, by the way. Our kitchen is open, so we have nothing. We very proud of the great ingredient that we use, the unprocessed ingredient, and we push for it because I think nowadays people are understanding that you cannot just eat whatever.
So your kitchen is truly a 100% scratch kitchen.
It's 100% scratch kitchen, and we really don't do anything processed there. It's just like everything there.
So do you
how
find
how frequently does that occur? 100% scratch kitchen, just in the restaurant world.
Very, very rare.
How many?
Like truly scratch.
How many are above 75% or greater? Is scratch.
It's really depend what you ask. For example, but we do get like we buy mozzarella from Italian provider, right?
Well,
So
sure,
we
yeah,
don't
yeah.
Make the mozzarella from milk
Completely. But my point though is, you that I consider mozzarella to be an ingredient. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
if you have and see, that's the difference between USA and overseas, right? If you go to Israel or Italy or France or any other country, and you say, hey, you make everything in house, like you're
make everything in house.
You're making the mayonnaise,
okay,
right? You're
Right.
you're making the mozzarella,
Okay.
right? You're making all of that stuff. You're not getting it out of a bag,
Right.
So in the United States, to have a scratch kitchen when you're buying mozzarella or you're buying whatever, there's a lot of restaurants that get their white onions pre-diced.
Okay, right.
They're not even cutting their onions in the restaurant.
Okay.
Because they're going through so many.
Right.
And they'll call themselves a scratch kitchen. We have a few of them around here, and that's fine.
Yeah, I was just curious. I didn't know how frequently you see that, because obviously if you've got somebody who's cranking out noodles and like you can go see when you order what you've got and it's getting tossed, I think that's completely different. To you something comes out from that. There's a large Italian chain here in town that I'm not going. It's just not my favorite. I love Italian food, and I don't care for theirs. And I'm convinced it's frozen or heavily pre-made. I don't know how to say it the right restaurant term, but and that's what I think of, because when I've had fresh stuff, there's nothing better than fresh noodles. That 2-minute cook, because I mean it's fat, like you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like it is right.
It don't take you 15 minutes to boil the noodles.
Right. Yeah, it's good.
and also, you know, I saw it when I went to Italy. I just came back from Italy and France, and we were eating like pigs. Okay, you know, where you overseas and you get it, and I felt great. I've heard
that from so many people.
I felt incredible, and I didn't feel like, you know, the amount of gluten that they put in the flour here is insane. That's why you have so many gluten intolerance in America, because like the way they're producing the food.
It's the way it's broken down, right?
And you can eat the same dish, but with the same different ingredients here and in Europe, like Italy or whatever, and then you won't feel the same. You will feel here will make you feel bloated and like sort of sick.
A friend of mine just came back from Italy about 3 weeks ago and said that same thing. Like over that, they not one time questioned what they ate. Not like hey, let me see a list. Just ordering, and felt amazing. And it took like 2 meals when they got back, and you could feel kind of the heaviness set in, and which blew my mind. That
and even for produce, you know, they do a lot of GMO, which is the genetic modified, and it does not give you the same value. And I'm telling you, I'm 38, and
you're 38.
I'm 38. You thought more? Or
no,
less?
I thought much less. Yeah. I thought you were around 30.
My whoop giving me my age is 34, so I'm like.
I seriously, I thought about 32.
That's the whole reason I didn't get one of them things.
No, I'm serious. I mean, like I would have never thought you 38.
I'm trying very hard, so I thank you. That's
if I put one of them bracelets on, it would say I was 60. And I'm not 60.
Is that it feels like, or is that it's like humidity outside? Like
both.
That's great.
I don't identify as that either.
The point is that I came to the States almost 6 years ago, and I started feeling not healthy.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good. Like I'm eating good. Like I wouldn't now, definitely the past 2 years, like much better, but I was eating good. I was not eating like fast food. I was eating good food, and then I started like being imbalanced.
So I think I know the answer, because you're kind of already talking about it. But just to reiterate, it's so much cheaper to buy pre-made things, because you save the labor, right? You don't spend as much labor. It's making your own pasta is time consuming, right? It's kind of like smoking my own barbecue.
Right.
It's time consuming. So why, as a business owner, why spend that money versus getting something that most Americans wouldn't be able to tell the difference?
Because I think I cannot do something that I cannot believe in. I wouldn't like sell you something that I wouldn't want to do it myself. So I wouldn't sell you. Let's say I'm an agent for my mom is dermatologist, okay? So she wouldn't sell you something that she wouldn't try and feel like it's good. So same for me. I'm very passionate about food, and I'm a foodie. I love to eat great food, great products, ingredients, you name it. And for me, and that's why we build the kitchen this way. Our kitchen is open kitchen. Like it's everything transparent. What you see is what you get. We have nothing to hide. We don't put like things you don't want to see in the dishes. And
unmarked white bucket.
Yeah, for real. Like,
I always think a restaurant like, wait, there's a bunch of buckets with no stickers on them, and I don't know what that means.
What is that?
Yeah. And I really. Like coming to America, pursuing my dream, I want to bring a value. Like it's not coming here, money is not my boss. Passion is my boss. Passion, like doing something that bring value to people's life. That's something that makes me wake up in the morning and not feel I'm working, because I truly love what I do. Like I go in the morning to my restaurants. I'm making sure everything is good. I'm making sure we sourcing like the best ingredients, the freshest, the high quality, and I feel like I'm doing something right. And for your question, if I get cheaper ingredients, but then the result is bad, I feel like in the long run, I will lose it because we lose customer, we lose the faithful customer that they have faith in what we do, and then the delta of like saving this money now in the long run, I will lose way more. So for me, like using the best thing in the long run is just bringing real value to our customers.
Agreed.
And just doing something real, you know, just
Yeah.
So let's get a little bit more specific now. PennePazze.
PennePazze.
I'm going to get it. I know I'm just barely off. You got a location here in Murfreesboro.
Yes,
That
so
is not location number one.
It's location number 2.
Location number 2. And so I got to ask, you're in Italy. No, excuse me. You're in Israel. We're going to go to the States, and you pick Nashville.
Yes.
How did you get and think this is where I'm headed?
So my dad and his older brother went to medical school in Italy, and then his older brother came to the States. So I have cousins here. They're born and raised in the States, and one of my cousins, she moved to Nashville 2010, if I'm not mistaken. And she told me, and back in the day, I was volunteering in Atlanta for 3 summers. Was volunteering for just like a program, and then she told me, listen, you're back and forth in Atlanta, come visit Nashville. So I was like, how far is Nashville? She goes, like probably 3.5, 4 hours drive. I was like, all right, I drive. So I drive there. I kind of fell in love. I really liked Atlanta because the Southern hospitality and the people are nice and everything. But then I come to Nashville and I like it better. And, like as
We
simple
agree.
as it sounds. and then I goes like, you know what? I'm gonna start researching about this market because I knew I want to move to the States.
Yeah.
And then started research about the market and seeing it's growing huge. And I love the Four Seasons. I love the people. My cousins here. I was like, you know what? Nashville is my place. So
That's awesome. I mean, it's easy. I mean, with family, I didn't obviously realize you already had them here. That makes it the transition a little easier. But I'm glad that you just came to Nashville and love it. So you open up in 2020, right as COVID's taking off. Your business is trying to take off. When did you open location 2 here in Murfreesboro?
we opened almost exactly 2 years ago. It was May 14th.
Okay.
When we opened location number 2. I never thought our location number 2 will be in Murfreesboro. I'll be honest with you. One time we drove to Atlanta, by the way, and we stopped to just fuel the car here, and I saw Medical Center Parkway. I was like, this is beautiful. And just a little bit background. Our goal is to open 100 PennePazze in the U.S. market. Like our goal is to franchise it and make it like a family-owned chain, quality. And so I remember when we just had the first one, it was 1 year after we opened, and I stopped here and I was like, what a beautiful place. I wish one day we could put a PennePazze here. I didn't know what's Murfreesboro. I didn't know that this gonna be my second location. And then fast forward like probably 2 years later, one of my vendors that works for me, he said, he brought an agent that works here in Boro, and she goes like, this is incredible, like you got to bring it to Boro. I was like, where's Boro? Like, never heard of it. So I literally never heard of it, and they sent me to see a location here in the Medical Center Parkway, and I liked it. I was like, you know what, let's go for it. So that's really how things happen.
That's outstanding. I love that. And then now you have 2 more locations coming up.
Yeah, so now we have very exciting things happening. We're building Germantown, like literally on the Sound Stadium, so you can sit on our patio and watch a baseball game, which is cool. And so that will be Germantown. That will be number 3, and number 4 will be in Franklin, on Carruthers. And we're very excited for Franklin too, because we have a lot of customers coming from Franklin all the time asking us, also Brentwood area, like when are we coming to this area, and we told them we are, but the new things we're doing, and we're launching a new gelato concept, a new Italian ice cream concept.
Okay.
In location number 3 and 4. So this is good news for us too, and we are planning to make those a separate business and grow them them as a new concept, and we want to open 300 in the U.S. market. So we're dreaming big.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Dreaming
we're going
big.
all in.
I love that. I love that.
We're immigrants that come to pursue the American dream. You know.
Hey, man.
I feel like
That is outstanding.
I feel like coming to America as a foreigner and really value and appreciate, because life is good here. I'm telling you, and
Yeah.
all the listeners, just so you know, don't take America for granted, because it's a great place to live. And whoever works hard here and really do the right thing, make it happen. Like it's,
Amen.
It's truly is.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about mac or beans.
Nice.
All right, welcome back, guys. We are here just kind of reset with my friend Rony from PennePazze.
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 Yes.
Get it's the that's where I keep
I'm
missing.
getting close.
Yeah.
No, you guys are
Getting
awesome.
close.
You guys
He's like, for a couple of Southern white dudes, you ain't doing too bad.
For a few rednecks, you're doing pretty good. I'll say it.
Before we get into mac or beans, I've been perusing your menu while we're sitting here. The shrimp Mama Rosa,
Mama Rosa.
like, give me first. What's your favorite dish at the restaurant? It puts you on the spot here.
Can I give you a funny answer for this? 4 years ago,
It's your answer. You can do what you want. Like,
I'm cooking. I'm the chef at the first restaurant, and it's a Friday night. The restaurant is packed. Like it's slammed. And then like on the bar, there is like a probably 6 years old guy with his wife and his like daughter, probably 30 years old daughter. And then he goes like, dude, what's the best in the menu? You know, and I'm like trying to make everything happen. And he goes like, you know, I created the menu with that dude right there. It's like me asking you, who's your favorite child? And he goes like, no hesitation, my son. So the so so the wife and the daughter dying laughing. I was like, all right, I lost my point. But like my point was, I really like we created a very balanced menu that can be from vegan, vegetarian, meat. So I told him pick one ingredient, we do it right. But I love this story and I love to tell this story. But like honestly, there is two best dishes that I like in the restaurant. For the pasta one is the ragu funghi, is bolognese sauce and mushroom.
okay.
And the second one is Nonna Paola. Paola is my mother, so I wanted to name a dish after my mother since she was my culinary inspiration. And I will tell you that every dish that we have in the restaurant is a sort of a dish that I grew up that my mom made and I twisted it. So like you look to the shrimp Mama Rosa, right?
Yeah.
So my mother, the first pasta she ever made, like teach me how to cook, was Mama Rosa. Mama is mother, Rosa is rose, right?
Yeah.
So it's basically vodka sauce, which is tomato and cream,
Right.
and a little bit olives. So so when we created like this dish, we said, all right, we wanted to do a shrimp. So we'll take the tagliatelle, which is the long shaped pasta. We'll color it with a squid ink to give it a black color. And then the base will be shrimp and olives, which I had in the original recipe. And then we'll also make confit garlic, which is a slow cooked garlic and olive oil. And then we use the tomato and cream. And that's how Shrimp Mama Rosa come to the restaurant.
Well-
it's just like, it's in my childhood, like base dish that we sort of upgraded.
It looks amazing, just purely on the website. But now that you've mentioned the ragu and fungi, I'm getting that. Like that
And
just looks.
that's my favorite.
That looks amazing, absolutely amazing. All right, mac or beans is our this or that segment.
Okay.
You're going to the barbecue restaurant, and are you getting the barbecue baked beans or are you getting the mac and cheese as your side?
Barbecue baked beans. I cannot do mac and cheese. It's like terrible for me. I'm sorry.
Is that the Italian roots not letting you do the mac and cheese?
100%
Okay,
yes.
It's an abomination to the noodle.
100%. Yeah. I cannot. For me, looking at mac and cheese is like
It's offensive.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I'm trying to stay respectful.
No, it's great.
No, it's
love
great.
it.
I love the response.
Because it's like it's a Southern barbecue staple.
Right, it is.
Right?
Like,
Like,
you're going to
you know.
offend somebody.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't even put it into words, but
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing for you. It's offensive
No,
that you
that's
to bring
great.
that up to the
Yeah.
Italian guy.
That's outstanding.
So having such a rich, unique ethnic food for us Americans, being Italian and being as authentic as yours is, I was like, where do I go with this? So I'm going to make it as simple as I can. If you're not eating Italian, are you eating Chinese or Mexican? Like that's, wow.
I really love Japanese food.
Okay, we'll
really
put that
love
in the,
Japanese food, and my bucket list dream is to go to Japan. By the way, Ricardo, my chef, is going in a week. So
my
he will
brother,
listen and we'll-
Nice.
my brother lived there for 5 years.
Really?
And you talk about the food. It was every time, and I've got 2 nephews who could eat more than the 3 of us combined. And it first of all, it's cheap because it's all fresh. It's right there. You can't get anything better. But that's the way he said they always felt better eating there, you know, and my sister-in-law got fresh ingredients. So she made a lot of stuff at home. Japan, from a culinary standpoint, they loved it. Their second favorite's Germany because everything's so local. Just well, in fact, they also lived there for like 4 years also. So, but you go to a little market, you get fresh made cheese, fresh made, you know, meats or whatever. The bread was baked that morning. You can smell it as you're walking to the village, you know, that kind of stuff. So there's a unique experience. They're very opposite, but they love Japan. Like they are, my niece and nephews always talk Japan. So if you ever get a chance to go.
I also heard the Japanese making also an incredible Italian food. So,
Really?
Yes.
So you gotta go.
So that's something I'm very like intrigued to see. Like very very interesting to see. Like what is it? Like what are them doing? So
I really that macro beans I was worried was going to be offensive, like because if I were to describe the most passionate culinary cuisine, I would say it's the Italian folks. Them or French, more than
Italian
likely.
food's pretty passionate
but
about the food.
they get passionate about what they do with the food. Like, this is a recipe that my great grandmother has passed down, right? Like, it's that kind of thing.
So the Italians. So the thing with the Italians, and it's good and it's good and it's. My wife has a emergency, so she can always call. The first night when I went to Pizzaiolo course, where I met Ricardo in Florence, he goes, "What do you want to put on your pizza?" And I goes, "I want to do mozzarella, confit garlic." And he goes, "Wait. You cannot put garlic on the mozzarella. It's ruined the taste of mozzarella." And I goes, "I don't care. That's what I want to eat." Like, the point is that Italian has, like, very, like, tradition, old rules.
Yeah.
What you can do and what you cannot do. Now, it's very good because this is how they keep the Italian tradition. And then if you don't think their way, you're wrong. It's not that you're different, you're wrong, okay? It's or the Italian way or the highway, which is, again, it's great, but and that's how they keep their culture for like many, many years. But Italians are very also like, sorry, it's talking to me. But that's why the Italian cuisine is so great, because they keep like the fundamentals, the rules,
right,
to make the things right. And
so now let's get offensive. Does pineapple go on pizza?
Oh my God!
Eye roll's all I needed. That's all.
We have an Instagram video that we did 2 days ago of me and Ricardo. I will show it to you after. And it's about a customer asking a ranch, and then they see basically us carrying the corpse to the trash.
So my wife can't go. My wife will put anything in ranch. And I'm like, sweetheart, like, stop at some point.
So I gotta derail us a little bit.
Sure.
So I had a birthday this past weekend, and
Mazel tov.
And thank you. And
Auguri in Italian as well. Auguri.
Auguri. Okay. I like learning. So one of the things that hit me this weekend, and it happens in our technology world, and as much as I absolutely love technology, and I think it's it's going to help us become better in very, very many ways. It kind of hit me this weekend, and I don't really know how I feel about it. So I wanted to get somebody else's opinion, and what better way to do it than ask the entire world. So when it's your birthday, do you prefer to get the Facebook message, happy birthday, or the text message or phone call or whatever? Because nobody sends a birthday card anymore. I wrote down birthday card, ? Like, when was the last time you got a birthday card?
January.
Of course. Got ruined the whole day. Okay. I didn't get one. Last time I got one was last year before my grandfather passed away.
Okay.
That's the last time I got a birthday card. But he was the only one that ever sent me one. But is it genuine if you send a friend just the generic Facebook happy birthday? Or
What's the question? Is it genuine?
is it genuine to get the Facebook message, or is it better to get the text message?
I think text message is very personal. I think like the Facebook, when you go today's birthday and it's already like you have a template like happy birthday with like
You just hit the blue button post.
Yeah.
And they've got 3 to pick from.
Think.
So this is basically, I send you Facebook. It's just like I just did it to make it happen. But when I'm sending like probably May 13th was a childhood friend of mine, and I saw it on Facebook. So Facebook is the reminder, is the calendar.
That's me.
But when you
That's
make
me.
when you want to make it personal, you will send a direct message. You will call. You will. But yeah, that's my answer.
I'm the exact same way. And you've got that list of medium kind of in between friends that you'll just hit the Facebook post for just to keep up the appearance. Hey, or maybe they got your birthday before, so now you reach back out, right? Yeah. For me, when you take on because to type the text message, even though it's minimal, you had to stop whatever you're doing, open up their contact, or however you do that, and you had to send that. So you had to at least be a little bit creative. My go-to thing is I will either always make it a very specific message that it's not like just, hey, happy birthday, Charlie, right? It's like, happy birthday, you sexy beast. I had to do something personal, specific, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then I always go use the screen to send it either with balloons or the confetti or whatever. Mm-hmm. Again, it's just that little element that takes time, but it helps out. And then your really close friends, and I even actually reserve this one for family, that's a phone call. Right. Like, so like you've got like that tier level.
Well, and that's what I was like. It really kind of hit me because at the end of the day, like I felt blessed because a couple hundred people reached out to me on social medias, right? People that I wouldn't even consider friends. I'd consider them acquaintances.
Right.
And I'm kind of scrolling through them at the end of the day and I'm kind of looking and I'm like,
it kind of feels good.
oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I ain't talked to them in a long time. Oh, well, that was nice. Oh, who is that? But like, so I'm like, it was cool, right? But then I start thinking about the text messages that I received throughout the day. And then it got me thinking even further of when was the last time it was somebody's birthday, to your point, that you picked up the phone and called them and said, hey, man, don't need nothing. Want you to have a great day. Happy birthday. Even if they don't answer, leave them a message, right? So, but it brings me back to my roots, hospitality, right? And the whole 9 yards. And are we allowing technology to intervene into the hospitality of giving somebody that happy birthday?
I think it simplifies it for sure. But I'm going to take it back to what he said earlier, where we want that experience where I walk in, it's user friendly. I'm really good. I order straight from my phone, and now I've got the whole experience started. There are times when I want to unplug. There are times when I don't want the distraction of the whatever. And so it's nice to just slow it all down. And so from that respect, I don't know if it's intervening as much as it is. I think it gives us a point to be specific. So you talk about your grandfather, the last one that sent you a card. My mother still to this day calls all her grandkids on their birthday and plays happy birthday on the piano. And if you don't answer, you get a recording, whatever. It's like she still does that. And I'm trying to convince my kids to understand there will come a time when you will miss this. Like now it's a headache to answer the phone to listen to grandma. Like, oh, grandma's calling, but it's not inconvenience but that first time it doesn't happen, you will wish you could get it.
And that's why I asked, because this is the first year in my 45 years of being on this earth that I did not get a birthday card and a phone call from my grandfather.
Yeah.
And that was that. It didn't hit me until later on that afternoon.
It's a gut punch,
and it'll get you, right?
But that's the thing, like you know different, so you can compare. But the new generation, I don't know if they have something to relate to, right?
Yeah.
So
so is it our responsibility? Because we're not too much older than you. Is it our responsibility to teach them those things?
You can say it's our responsibility. I think it's a better idea, not necessarily to teach it, but just to model it. That way they know it's at least there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that first time my kids don't get that call from mom where she's playing, from their grandmother where she's playing the piano, that'll impact them. They know the key phrases I always say. Like you're always going, this or this or this right before you leave. Like my son, for whatever reason, he became dude for me. Ironically enough, my mom was dude with my grandfather, but it never was intentional, but mom gave all them a nickname, right? I think it's more rooted in tradition. And that's what he was saying earlier about the Italians have held on. It's your Italian way or it's no way.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure the Italians have embraced, technology. But tell me what technology is going to hand knead a dough, right? I mean, and I'm sure there's something out there eventually that's going to come around.
But that's kind of where I'm going with it, is from the standpoint of, I think technology is very important in how we grow as people, as a species.
Oh, sure.
Let alone a society. But I think we have to be careful about how we allow, especially with this large. Nobody understands how big AI really is going to be.
Well, when we were kids, think about the first computers just before we were born were the size of full rooms. Oh, and now we carry this in our pocket. Like, what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's only been 40 years, 50 years, something like that. And it gets faster and faster, right? So I think AI, it will be huge. I think it's going to impact hospitality industry possibly bigger than anybody else initially.
There is a place in Franklin. There is a robot like serving the food and the drinks.
Wild.
Which I was like, wow, that's cool.
I have a friend of mine.
I'd go for the experience.
Tested it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a robot and brings it to you. There's one here in town, actually. What's the name of that sushi place? The all-you-can-eat sushi place. I'm losing it.
That's not the name of it. It's not.
It's in the old. No, it's in the old Logan's building.
Waco.
Okay.
They got a robot. It'll bring you sushi out to you.
In Japan, they have a sushi go round. It's just a big electronic lazy Susan, and every plate's got the thing of sushi on it, and you pay by the plate.
By the color. But this by the way, I did like almost 25 years ago in my bar mitzvah trip in Chinatown in San Francisco. By the way,
okay,
25 years ago. So this is not the same kind of technology, but for our responsibility, I feel like we need to sacred what's values there are in personal interaction with people, and what's to teach our new generation, my kids, your kids, whatever, to embrace, and what is this is limited. Like don't get used to it, because there is no much deeper meaning in it. And
right.
So I feel like it's a combination of our responsibility and I would say, I don't know if the big companies will have even a way to explain it, but
I think the rest of the world does a better job than the Americans do.
Yeah, here's
like when you look at the values, like you can literally take a set of, I could probably give you a list of like 5 or 6 things, and you could probably name what region or country that's affiliated with.
Yeah.
America, whether it's because the melting pot value or the fact that we just kind of roll so fast or whatever, we don't have as much of that, I feel like. But there's plenty of other parts of the world who still hang on and retain that value, that tradition. And I like what the word you said there, what value is sacred to us, because some of those things have to be a hard stop, that you don't cross that line. Other stuff, yeah, we can figure out how to do that. But like, I really like that terminology there. But that's, I think it's going. The truth is there is a certain part of us that have to embrace it because it's coming. If you try to shun it the whole time, eventually it'll take you over and leave you behind. So,
look, I'll tell you what scared me. Is I was in my restaurant the other day, and one of my servers was having a hard time making change. Okay, which scared me because there's a computer right there with a screen on it that tells you how much change to give. Okay, but what scared me even more than that was after that, it was just us, me and this particular server were talking, and I just asked a simple question: can you do me a favor and tell me what $1.50 times 4 is?
Locked them up, didn't it?
Simple mathematics, right? Simple arithmetic.
Should be
$6.
right.
Not tough. They couldn't give me the answer.
That's. Oh,
But it's because of cell phones, calculators, things that aren't even that far advanced from a mathematics standpoint.
But we were told when we were kids, you're not always going to have a calculator with you.
We were, but that's why we had to learn it, right? I mean, but
we
look,
had to learn it.
if
They
you
grew up
weren't-
with it.
If you didn't grow up having to know addition, subtraction, multiplication, division with your brain, with that mass that's in between your
Right.
two ears, then you probably wouldn't be as good at construction as you are today.
But let me ask you this: what's the area of a circle? Why didn't you retain that? Right, pi square. Okay,
Let's go.
But if you needed, if
I know
you
it was
need
pi something
right.
squared, but I couldn't
But if
remember
you
the
needed
rest of
that,
it.
what are you immediately going to do?
Google it.
Hey phone, hey Siri, hey Google, hey whatever. And it's going to spit you the answer.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT, which is wildly going crazy. That
Yes.
I've been reading on how to use that better. I have far been lacking.
No,
These guys are kicking butt.
I
but-
don't disagree with
Oh, I
what
know.
you're saying
I
by
know.
any means. I agree with everything you're saying, and that's a tool.
But that's
to
the
help
old
us
and the
get
new,
there, right?
from where your younger generation is just. It's not a dependence; it's how they learned it.
But I've one more thing that and that's dividing sort of the new world and the old world. So I'm going back to the restaurant and the way we order in the restaurant. So in Nashville we have like the crowd is very adaptive, right? It's like young generation, very technology. Like if I compare it to Murfreesboro people have a little bit more like old state of mind. And when they need to adapt technology, for me it's like some people's like, oh, kid. Do you have a paper menu? Like
Right.
they're like sort of like they stuck. It was like, wait, I gotta order a lot. Like
That'd be my mom.
Yeah.
My mo- if I can get my mom into your restaurant, I can tell you, here's how it's gonna go. Just order for me. You know what I want. No, mom, I don't know what you want. Just you'll get it.
no, but then,
Tell me what they have.
But they're very intimidated from like the technology part of
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Yeah,
not
very
like
much so.
jumping. And it's very intuitive. And I see the opposite. I see my son, my 2-year-old son. He knows exactly
goes.
what he's doing.
Just
like
goes, yeah.
everything. He
Yeah.
knows. He knows. And I'm thinking it's very interesting to see how like the old world is like embracing technology towards the new world where it's like very everything like it's very intuitive, excuse me. It's like they're just doing it. Like
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
even ask questions like, oh, that's easy. That's
Like we had to learn the phone. They know the phone.
No, they
like
know
it
it.
literally just is. It's,
because it's built to get their attention and don't leave your eyes off it.
Right.
Like it's
And now we
sort of
put it
like
on
it's
our
a
eyes.
drug. It's like a drug.
Right.
And now you're putting it on
Really
your
is.
eyes even. I mean, like it literally so you can see what you're seeing.
Yeah.
I will say this back to the birthday card thing, and just real quick, I did drive to your restaurant. I was going to tell you face to face, but you were closed Monday, and
Yeah,
but
we're
as you should have been. It was the holiday. And
Yep.
You're closed on Mondays anyway, though, aren't you?
Yep.
Okay. And it didn't hit me till I'm literally crossing the bridge. I'm like, I think he's closed on Mondays. And I pulled up and I see the smoker out and the lights are out. And I'm like, well, happy birthday. Let's go.
Look, I was blessed. My wife even went to the restaurant and did the stuff that I had to do, so I wouldn't have to
Oh,
go.
good for her.
So yeah, it was pretty good stuff.
We never talked about your restaurant.
My restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we don't need to talk about my restaurant. This is about you.
Okay.
My
Okay.
my restaurant. My restaurant is the show.
Okay. Okay.
We're good. We're
If you
good.
go, get the wings. I'll tell you that part. All right.
right.
Get the
Come
wings.
get the wings. We cook in beef tallow, so
Okay.
it's no
I
more
just
added
order it for my
preservative.
wife because she says like
For the skin?
more healthy and everything. So I order it for my wife.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. We love it. So you got a Friday Feel Good for us?
I do got a Friday Feel Good. I came across a quote this week, and boy, it just struck me. And I love how our Friday Feel Goods almost always morph into the show just somehow. There's a quote by Susan Wicks. There's a large measure of joy in ordinary moments. Don't overlook the simplicity of just life, because there is a large amount of joy there, and being able just to take it all in, meet new friends, the traditions of family, and like just hang on to all that. Y'all know what to do. Find somebody you know, tell them you love them.
It's awesome. I love it. Rony, man, I really appreciate you coming to hang out with us.
It was fun.
It was cool to have you. Tell a little bit about your story. If people want to get to your restaurant, you got 2 operating today, 2 more coming very soon. How can they find you, get involved, go buy some pasta from you?
I wanna just relate to what he said, because simplicity is what we talk about our Italian cuisine all the time. It's when you go to Italian cuisine, unlike I would say Indian cuisine, which is not something better, but like
right.
In Italian cuisine, you have 3 or 4 ingredients like in a dish, and you want to taste every ingredient. It's not like more is less in the Italian cuisine, and that's what we're trying to bring, like simplicity, like fine ingredient, and make like just experience the best. Where we can find us, Instagram PennePazze official. PennePazze.net is our website. Google PennePazze. You will see our wonderful reviews. If you're coming there and I'm there, please come see me.
I want to meet Ricardo.
You want to meet Ricardo. Ricardo is a fun one. But honestly, everything we do is really to just like for me, as growing up, wanted to bring friends over and just like have a great meal. That's why we opened the restaurant. I wanted to make people happy through their stomach and make like a cool experience with it. So that's our DNA, and that's what we're trying to bring to the plate.
Absolutely love it. Look, guys, you know what to do. If you haven't yet, go check out PennePazze.
PennePazze.
I think I got it right.
You started very good at the beginning, by the way.
And I've gotten
Every
worse
time
and
you
worse.
got worse and worse.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Well, you know, look, give me another week or 2, and I'll see if I can get even worse. Pretty soon, it's just going to be PennePazze.
I feel like I've read that before.
It's an inside joke. Look, y'all go check my man's restaurant out. It's if you haven't been there yet, it's absolutely delicious. I've been there a few times.
Hang on, where's it located in Nashville?
1430 Medical Center Parkway.
That's Murfreesboro.
That's Murfreesboro. It's in the Fountains.
And where's Nashville?
Nashville is 3826 Charlotte Avenue. It's L&L Market. We're at the bottom with the beautiful patio.
Excellent. All right.
Outstanding. I love it. Look, you guys know what to do. Please like, share, subscribe, do all the things. If you want to get involved with the show, feel free to give me a call at 615-307-0120, or you can email me directly at Charlie, CHARLIE, at singletreebbq.com. And until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
Y'all be good.
Thanks for joining us today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, leave us a 5-star review and come see us at the restaurant.